Sorry about that. The phone rang. It was my nephew. Talked to him for an hour, and now I'm going to finish this up. So when the video cut off, I think I finished the box, and I was starting to talk about how I make a double wall for these end pieces. So basically, this is what that end piece looks like. I use the die that I have to make Memorydex cards with, lined it up at the bottom, and traced around it to make marks for where to put my holes, and then I just use my crocodile to click in there and cut the 2 holes. I do that on both ends. And then the first one, this tall one, I'm going to glue into place. But before I do that, because you never get another chance to put paper on here, I want to put my pattern paper on the front of it. So that's what this is. This piece was cut 7 by 5, and I folded up a 1/2 inch on the bottom, and that will sit there under the pattern paper that goes on top of it for the base. And all of this has to be done about now, or if you want to have it look nice and neat and tidy. So what I do is I put my paper in place, and one of the first things to do is to trace. I just use a pencil and color in the hole so that I can see where it is, nice and dark, like that. Need to do the other one now. Alright, stopped. So I just, do a quick hole like that. Use the crocodile. There, and make that hole. Now, this is my pet peeve with the crocodile. That little thing never falls out, and you always have to poke it out before you can move on. So, there's that. And they'll line up pretty well, I think. Or well enough, anyway. Yeah, they're good. So, I'm going to glue that in place to that. Move that out of my way for a moment. And I don't go crazy with the glue. I just want that paper to stay in place. I don't need to. It's not structural or anything at this point, so it's just enough to stick it where I put it. So I get that all lined up. And then, this is at the bottom of the page. This is going to sit, or not page, but on the bottom of the end panel. And then I put a little spacer of another piece of chipboard, just a scrap, to give it even more heft to that end wall. It just gives more room for the dowels to fit in here and have where they'll rest against the back wall. So, this is how this all goes. So I cut up the side to where it's going to fit the wall of the box. Okay? And that piece I'm going to glue down just like that. I cut it off at the top of this panel and glue that down just real quick like. Okay? And then it gets a little bit tricky here, but it makes a nice presentation if you do it like this. So, got this like this, and when I go to wrap this around, and when I do this, I'll have glue everywhere, but I want you to see it first. I'm just gonna kind of do this sort of thing. And fold those two pieces in around that top part above the side walls, and then fold that down, and you'll have a real nice pretty corner there. So that's how that goes. We'll glue all that in place. Whatever's left over here, we'll just glue it down. It doesn't matter how far it goes, because we're going to cover the whole bottom with another piece of patterned paper. You do have to make a little notch here whenever you find out where that is. I don't do it ahead of time because you never know how much all of this is going to take up. You know, you've got 3 layers there that you're going by, so you want to make sure you have all the space you need, you know, for that. And then I do the same thing at the other end. And this one's already done and punched through and all of that. And say this is already glued in. I'm going to poke my dowels into my little holes here. Like this. Line them up down at this end. Like I said, it's already glued in place when we're doing this. I'm just showing you. Because I want to... But this is the really only tricky part. The whole thing. And I crossed my stick. That's what I did. Silly woman. You don't want to do that. You want to keep your sticks lined up. So, there. And when you set this guy down into place, when he's all trimmed off, actually, what did I do here? I glued that on the wrong side. Don't pay any attention to me. I'm doing it wrong. Anyway, you'll have all of this ready to go. This will come down and you have your end piece. But I did it wrong, so don't pay any attention to that. This will have folded out. I glued it on the wrong side. Can you see that? That's what you get for doing it while you're talking on the phone. But you can get the general idea. This piece will fold out just like this one does toward the center of the box. Like I have it folded here. And then, I'm going to pull these out so you can see it because I will move it. This would be in here. This would come around here. And you would fold these around like that and to the bottom and make a notch. And then you just cover it with patterned paper. I cut 2 5-inch panels for the sides. 12 inches long, 5 inches wide. Make it meet down here on top of the bottom piece. I will show you that because that is the trickiest of all parts. Is if this piece had been glued down, if that end piece had been glued down before I put my dowels in, I would glue this piece down. But leave this piece up. And yesterday I found that I could use my bone folder to hold it up while I got the other piece in place. So I just left my bone folder holding that glued piece up. This has all got glue on it. And I used my bone folder to hold it in place while I got this other end piece in place so that I can glue this on top of that. If all of that makes sense. So then it would go like that. And you got to have it all sort of ready at the same time. This, actually, I just did that wrong after all that. My goodness. That's not what you do. You want this under this. That's why you keep... It's so silly. So yeah, like that. It would go like that, under that. And then when you put your side pieces in, it just goes down and meets real nicely against that. This piece is cut to 11 3/4, and even that is a little tight. I'll probably trim it off a little more. And you may have to do that. You know, of course, dry fit everything as much as you can. But there you go. And then I cut another piece for the bottom, just a little bit wider than 4 inches, about 4 1/8, and that'll cover the bottom, and everything will be all nice and neat. Then you're ready to decorate it. So I hope this part wasn't that confusing. I did take photographs, like I said, as I was doing that process yesterday, and they will be on my blog, so you'll get a closer view of what all of this was, you know, with the folding and the zhuzhing and all that. So yeah, that's how it goes. If you have any questions, if something wasn't clear, if I confused you at all with my mistake making, just let me know. I'll make it right somehow. And I apologize for the interruption. And please like, subscribe, comment, and come back. And thanks for watching.